Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the big changes coming to Superman and Lois season 4 amid the big budget cuts at the CW. We've got a new article to break down. This is from Deadline. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so as we talked about for a while, we know there's huge budget cuts for Superman and Lois's next season, that being season 4. Again, we don't know when it's going to come out, but we have to wait until the actor strike is done. But for the meantime, the writers can come back. But we've got news in regards to the writers that will be coming back and kind of the rough guide of what's going to be happening in the next year to do with the writing side of Superman and Lois. So we got a lot of information to break down in this video. I think you guys will like it, so stick around with me. And so let's get into this. So the title of the Deadline article, which you can find in the top link in the description below, is Superman and Lois All-American Homecoming Trim Writers Room Amid Budget Cuts. So it starts like this. This is an exclusive to Deadline. The budget cuts that came with Superman and Lois and All-American Homecoming's renewals at the CW are also impacting the series writers' rooms, which are undergoing downsizing. So there you go. We'll talk about this in a second, but Superman and Lois is going from 8 writers to 5 for the upcoming 4th season in the writers' room, with Homecoming from 9 to 7 for season 3. There are no changes in the writers' room sizes of the other 2 remaining CW original scripted series flagships, All-American and Walker. So those are remaining untouched, that being All-American and Walker, but the All-American spin-off is getting trimmed by 2 writers. They're letting some of them go. But in regards to Superman and Lois, it's a bigger deal because it's 3 writers that are being lost. It's only going to be 5 sole writers on the show, plus obviously you have like the executive producer, and they can get freelance writers to come in and write certain episodes if they need their help and if they think someone could do a good job. So like ex-writers can come back, there is that opportunity, but that is a big deal. They're downsizing despite the writer strike going on. But we talked about this on a stream the other day, just last Thursday, with my friend Declan, who runs the YouTube channel DC Central, and he actually had the theory that they've been meaning to do this for a while, especially when they announced, okay, we're going to cut back on the cast, we're going to have less series regulars this season, and it's going to be 10 episodes, and so they were probably ready to announce that, you know, the writers would be slashed, or I guess they would try and get away with it without announcing it, but obviously it's going to get out there due to how prevalent and big the writers are right now in terms of Hollywood. So I think normally this is something that would have gone on behind the scenes in terms of their budget cuts, but now it's being put in the open and it's a pretty big deal. Only 5 writers writing for the new season, so it's definitely going to take a lot of work. But the article goes on like this: as Deadline reported, Superman and Lois and All-American Homecoming were renewed in June 2023 after producing studio Warner Bros. Television agreed to deliver the new seasons at a significantly lower license fee to make them feasible for the network under its new lower cost original scripted programming model. For the shows to make still financial sense for the studio, their budgets were slashed, leading to cast reductions, with not all the series regulars asked to come back full time. So that's something that I wasn't actually aware of. I didn't know that WBTV actually agreed to deliver the new season, so that means basically they are still the ones kind of producing the shows and creating the shows that are specifically WBTV productions. So they produce it for the CW and the CW pays a license fee for it. And so they've actually lowered the cost by a lot in order to make it feasible for the new seasons to run at a significantly lower rate. So obviously this is WBTV being flexible and realizing, you know, some of these shows are actually very important. So if they want any of them to continue, like Superman and Lois, they had to slash the budget, they had to slash it, which includes making the tough decision of bringing down the episode count and also having a lot of the series regulars being majorly cut from the series, obviously in the new season, because that's what the CW is asking for, and sadly that's the reality for WBTV. They had no choice. And so while the cast cuts were made in June and early July before the start of the SAG-AFTRA strike, the writers' room trims had to wait until September 27 at the end of the WGA strike. As I said, I believe this is something that they actually planned for quite a while, and they just had to wait for the writers' strike to actually end to announce it. And so Superman and Lois is more expensive than any other CW original dramas due to extensive special effects, says the article. So the cuts on the show were deeper. Only 4 of the 12 season 3 series regulars, Tyler, Elizabeth, Michael and Alex Garfin, are coming back along with Lex Luthor, while the other returning CW scripted series were all picked up for 13 episodes rather than Superman and Lois's 10 episodes, which season 4 is going to consist of. That was followed by the departure last week of 3 writers, including staff writer Adam Malinga. He wrote, "Disappointed news due to budget cuts. I won't be returning on staff for Superman and Lois in season 4. We talked about this and we covered this in a separate video a couple of weeks ago, because he actually announced that he was not coming back for season 4 before all of this came out. And so he says, obviously this isn't what I was hoping for, but after the cuts to cast an episode order, it's no surprise either. My showrunners were in a difficult spot, and I want to be clear they've handled it in the best way they could have." I hear that. While he won't be on the staff next season, Malinga has been assigned an episodic script, which is an interesting twist in this article, which is confirming he's going to be back to write as a freelancer. As I mentioned before, that is a definite possibility for some of these ex-writers of the show to come back and actually participate again, but just from a different standpoint. So being a freelancer means that he's not going to be paid a salary, he's going to be paid per hour, per day, writing this specific script that he has been assigned to. And so of the 2 other writers impacted, I hear one opted to not renew his contract to be on staff for the opportunity to direct an episode, having made his directorial debut on the show previously, and write a freelance episode. So I guess they are being nice. The writers are being actually compensated in some sort of way, like they're not being thrown under the bus, and so the showrunners are doing the best they can, getting them back to write a freelance episode, and also for one of the writers to direct an episode. And so 2 All-American Homecoming cast members are not returning as series regulars for their season 3 as well, so that just, you know, follows the pattern of Superman and Lois as well. And so while the writers' room minimums under the new WGA agreement do not kick in until December, the reduced sizes of the Superman and Lois and All-American Homecoming writers' teams still would comply. For 7 to 12 episode seasons, which Superman and Lois is, with 10 episodes in season 4, the minimum is 5 writers, and so that is exactly what they've got. And I think that's why they trimmed it back, because they've seen, okay, the WGA minimum is 5, so why are we having more writers? So let's cut it back, which makes complete sense in terms of if you're thinking like Nexstar, because they're just trying to save money everywhere they go and they don't care who they affect. And even though this doesn't actually apply to Superman and Lois, I just wanted to tell you guys, so for seasons of 13 plus episodes, it's 6 as the minimum, and so that's why I believe you're not seeing as big cuts on some of the other shows, because they are retaining a 13 episode season. And so for the mothership, All American from WBTV and Walker from CBS Studios, the episode count reduction is 7. So there was 20 in season 5 to 13 for season 6, so that's still pretty significant, and 5, so 18 in season 3 to 13 for season 4 respectively, that being for Walker as well. So yeah, that is a significant change in terms of episode count. We've seen that in the Arrowverse over the last couple of years. You saw the Flash be reduced for its final season, you saw that in Arrow First Up, and then also with Supergirl. Like, you previously seen them running for like 20 plus episodes, so that was just pretty much standard in the old CW days, but now it seems the standard is between 10 and 13 episodes. 10 is probably the minimum they'll go, because you need enough content to keep people engaged and actually come back, but also they don't want to be producing too much, because more episodes means more money, and they don't want to overspend, so they can actually try and make the most out of what they've got going on. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If this did update you and inform you in a good way, please be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Also leave a like if you enjoyed it, and you can click the subscribe button and turn on notifications by hitting that bell button if you are new around here, so you don't miss any future videos. But for now, thank you so much for watching. You can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, but for now, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.